Alien King Quasar's 4 teal eyes bulged in their sockets, aghast, as he watched a human tear a Karlek's warrior's head clean off with his bare hands, thick purple gore splattering the camera drone hovering over the carnage. Quasar had assumed the Deathworld title was hyperbole, but blood-spattered human after human rose from the corpses of KRLX twice their number, roaring their defiance, making it clear that mankind did not know how to lose. Only 10 minutes prior, things had seemed so calm. It was a routine joint training exercise on Deltan soil, 5 human spec ops, 10 of Quasar's own elite warriors, running drills together. 30 KRLX drones had stormed in from nowhere, plasma rifles on full auto, scything down 8 Deltan soldiers before anyone could blink. The humans moved the moment the first shot had been fired. Quasar had never seen anything like it. One moment the humans had been chatting and joking with his men. A heartbeat later they were killing machines, plasma rifles shattering carapace, frag grenades sundering limbs. Quasar watched in disbelief as a human, Adam, his name tag read, charged a KRLX, ducking under a plasma bolt, sliding between its legs and leaping onto its back, hands wrapping around the insectoid's neck and wrenching, spine shattered in a grotesque spray. Adam rose like an ancient warrior god of old, plasma rifle shooting from the hip, turning 2 more KRLX to smouldering paste even as he barked orders to the other humans, organizing the slaughter with crisp, calm commands. The insectoid corpses piled higher and higher as the humans avenged their dead Deltan comrades. Not one human had fallen, though 2 oozed blood from minor wounds. Nothing could stop them. Less than 2 minutes after the ambush began, the few surviving KRLX turned tail and fled. 28 xenobodies lay strewn around the 5 battered but unbroken humans. Mankind had, outnumbered and outgunned, made the hostile aliens pay a nearly 6-to-1 toll. Quasar's world spun, unable to process what he'd just witnessed. The Deltan King sank back from the live camera feed, the human's killing efficiency seared into his brain, knowing beyond all doubt that he had catastrophically underestimated mankind. This changed everything. King Quasar summoned Adam to his palace shortly after the successful repulsion of the KRLX ambush. The 2 leaders had much to discuss. Adam strode in, still in his blood-stained combat armor. Quasar struggled to maintain his composure as they debriefed, the humans' calm demeanor at odds with the savagery Quasar had witnessed. An aide burst in, interrupting their meeting. "Your Highness, urgent news from Epsilon 9. The KRLX have launched a full-scale invasion of the colony." Quasar surged to his feet. He would not allow the KRLX to make further inroads into Deltan space. "Mobilize the fleet. 50 warships and 10,000 of our finest warriors. This aggression will not stand." Adam stood as well. "Your Highness, allow me to take a team of my best soldiers to Epsilon 9. We can infiltrate ahead of your fleet, gather vital intel, and disrupt the enemy." Quasar hesitated, his pride warring with cold pragmatism. The humans had proved their mettle true, but to rely on them further. After a long moment, he nodded curtly. "Very well. Choose your warriors, and go with haste. We will arrive soon after to eradicate the KRLX." Hours later, a cloaked human dropship slipped through the KRLX blockade over Epsilon 9. Adam and 19 hand-picked Spec Ops troops, armed to the teeth with the deadliest human weaponry, moved like ghosts into the embattled colony's capital. Scattered weapons fire and the screeches of KRLX warriors echoed in the distance. Sergeant Connors peered through his rifle scope at a cluster of insectoids, then whispered, "Sir, look at the corpses. Deltan civilians, but no plasma burns. Some kind of chem weapon?" Adam frowned. The Deltans hadn't reported anything like that. "Mendez, Horvath, with me. We're going to get a sample of whatever they're using. The rest of you, sow some chaos. Disable their comms, destroy supply depots, whatever you can do to soften them up." As the humans split into small teams and slipped into the night, Quasar's fleet hurtled towards Epsilon 9. On the flagship's bridge, sensor officers called out contacts as the KRLX armada moved to engage. 80 capital ships, hundreds of support craft. We're outnumbered almost 2-to-1. Quasar gritted his teeth, praying that the humans would prove their worth yet again. His fleet couldn't win a straight fight against such odds. They needed an edge. Adam and his infiltration team crept through the colony's devastated streets towards a KRLX field base. They neutralized the perimeter guards with silenced weapons and pushed inside. In what passed for the insectoid's medbay, they found dozens of KRLX corpses, all bearing signs of some horrific biological agent. "Bingo," muttered Horvath, swabbing samples into a sealed test tube. "Let's bag it and get the hell out of here." As they exfiltrated the base, Adam radioed the flagship. "Quasar, we've got a sample of a nasty bioweapon the KRLX cooked up. Our techs can analyze it. Give your medics a heads up on what they're facing." On the bridge, Quasar clenched a fist in momentary victory as the human's voice crackled over the comms. He barked orders to his crew, adjusting fleet positioning to counter the new threat. Mere minutes later, damage reports flooded in as the KRLX weaponized the plague against the Deltan ships. But forewarned, Quasar's fleet activated failsafes to neutralize the bioweapon. The KRLX, caught off guard that their secret weapon had been countered so quickly, fell into disarray as the Deltans surged forward, Adam's warning having shifted the battle in their favor. On the planet's surface, the KRLX war machines stumbled, their supply chain in shambles, their communications a garbled mess. The Deltan garrison, heartened by the shifting tide in orbit, rallied and began to retake lost ground, the KRLX falling back in confusion. As the chaos of battle raged in the skies above Epsilon 9 and throughout the colony's streets, Adam's earpiece crackled with an urgent transmission. "Sir, we've intercepted KRLX comms. They're holding human and Deltan scientists at a research facility, something about a Project Prometheus. Sounds like it could be a game-changer." Adam's brow furrowed as he processed the intel. If the KRLX got their claws on advanced tech, this fight would get a whole lot harder. He patched through to the Deltan flagship. "Quasar, new developments. The bugs have some of our people working on something big. We need to extract them and secure the research. I'm taking a team in, but we could use some backup." Quasar's voice came through, tense but resolute. "Understood. I'll divert a squad of our best to rendezvous at the facility. Bring our people home, Adam." Adam gathered his strike force, 5 battle-hardened humans and 5 of Quasar's most lethal warriors. They moved like shadows beneath the neon glow of plasma fire, weaving through the war-torn streets towards the research facility. As they neared the complex, a hail of plasma bolts forced them into cover. KRLX soldiers swarmed from the facility's entrance, their weapons spitting deadly energy. Adam's team returned fire, the bark of human rifles and the sizzling hiss of Deltan blasters filling the air. A hulking Deltan named Zal surged forward, his massive frame shrugging off plasma bolts as he closed with the KRLX. With a roar, he ripped the head from one insectoid, then used its corpse as a club to smash another into the wall. But as Zal turned to face the next foe, a plasma bolt caught him in the shoulder, spinning him to the ground. Adam leapt from cover, his rifle cracking out a burst that dropped the KRLX sniper. He slid to Zal's side, dragging the big alien into cover. "I've got you, big guy. We'll get you patched up." Zal clasped Adam's arm, a warrior's respect in his eyes. With the KRLX guards neutralized, the team pushed into the facility, securing each room with ruthless efficiency. In the central lab, they found the scientists, bruised and battered, but alive. Dr. Eliza Novak, the lead researcher, clutched a strange device to her chest. "Prometheus," she said, her voice shaking. "An energy shield that could change everything. We can't let the KRLX have it." Adam nodded, ushering the scientists towards the extraction point. But as they neared the facility's hangar, the floor shook with the weight of heavy footfalls. A massive KRLX war machine lumbered into view, its armored carapace bristling with weapons. And there, ensconced within its control pod, sat a monstrous KRLX, easily twice the size of its kin, its exoskeleton pulsing with glowing cybernetic enhancements. "Behemoth," Dr. Novak whispered, her face pale. Adam raised his rifle, his jaw set. No way in hell was he letting this freak stop them. Not when they were so close. He glanced at his team, humans and Deltans united, ready to face this threat as one. This was going to be one hell of a fight. Plasma bolts sizzled past as Adam's team scrambled for cover, the behemoth's weapons spitting death. Zale roared, plasma rifle blazing, but the bolts splashed harmlessly off the war machine's thick armor. "It's no use," Dr. Novak shouted over the din of battle. "Your weapons can't penetrate its shell." Adam gritted his teeth, mind racing. They couldn't fall here, not when they were so close. His gaze fell on the strange device clutched in Dr. Novak's hands. The Prometheus shield. Could it be used as a weapon? Dr. Novak's eyes widened. Theoretically, yes. By reversing the polarity, it could release a massive energy blast, but it's untested. The feedback could kill whoever wields it. Adam's jaw set. "I'll take that chance. Talk me through it." As Dr. Novak hurriedly explained the device's workings, Adam turned to Zal. "I need you and the others to keep that thing busy. Buy me time to get in close." Zal clasped Adam's shoulder, respect burning in his eyes. "Fight well, human. We will not fail you." With a fierce battle cry, Zal and the Deltan warriors surged from cover, plasma fire erupting from their rifles. The behemoth swiveled, its massive guns tracking the new threat. Seizing the opening, Adam sprinted forward, the Prometheus device humming in his hands. He thumbed the activation switch and gasped as a shimmering field of energy enveloped his body. Power surged through his veins, his muscles burning with newfound strength. The behemoth's sensors detected the energy surge, and it turned ponderously to face Adam. The human leapt, the Prometheus field propelling him to impossible heights. He landed on the war machine's armor with a clang, the energy shield protecting him from the brutal impact. With a roar, Adam slammed his fist into the behemoth's armored hide. The Prometheus energy discharged in a blinding flash, the armor buckling beneath the blow. Adam struck again and again, each punch backed by the power of the alien device, the behemoth's exoskeleton cracking and splintering. The Karlak's pilot screeched in mingled rage and fear, lashing out with the machine's clawed limbs. Adam ducked and weaved, the Prometheus field enhancing his speed to match the machine's blows. Zayasul and the others watched in awe, as the human battled the Karlak's monstrosity hand to hand. Never had they witnessed such raw courage and skill. With a final devastating punch, Adam's Prometheus-charged fist shattered the behemoth's armor, exposing its pulsing, vulnerable core. The human raised his hand, the device's energy coalescing around his fist. With a defiant bellow, he plunged his arm into the machine's heart. A blinding explosion rocked the facility, the behemoth vanishing in a maelstrom of fire and shrapnel. The shockwave hurled Adam back, the Prometheus shield flickering and fading. He hit the ground hard, rolling to a stop at Zal's feet. The Deltan reached down, helping the battered human to his feet. "You crazy brave bastard," Zal laughed. "You did it." Adam grinned through the pain, his armor scorched and dented. "Let's get the hell out of here before the whole place comes down." The team quickly gathered the rescued scientists and the precious Prometheus technology. They raced through the collapsing facility, dodging falling debris and secondary explosions. At last, they burst into the open, the dropship waiting to extract them to safety. As they lifted off, the strike team watched the research base crumble into ruins, the behemoth's destruction ensuring the KRLX could never recover its secrets. Aboard the Deltan flagship, Adam and his team strode onto the bridge to a hero's welcome. Quasar himself greeted them, his eyes wide with wonder as he beheld the humans. "The KRLX fleet is in full retreat," the prince said. "The intel you provided turned the tide, and the stories of your bravery on the ground. I have never seen such courage and skill." Adam met Quasar's gaze, a warrior's respect passing between them. "Humanity has been underestimated before. It usually doesn't end well for our enemies. Just ask the KRLX." As laughter and cheers erupted across the bridge, Quasar clasped Adam's hand, a gesture of friendship and alliance. The prince finally understood the true nature of the Deathworlders, not savages, but heroes, warriors of unmatched valor and indomitable will. The galaxy would never be the same. As the dropship lifted off from the ruins of the Epsilon 9 research facility, Adam slumped against the bulkhead, exhaustion etched into every line of his face. Zal, nursing his wounded shoulder, grinned wearily at his human comrade. "Not bad for a day's work, eh?" Adam managed a tired chuckle. "Let's just hope the KRLX got the message." But their respite was short-lived. No sooner had they docked with the Deltan flagship than urgent alarms blared through the ship. Quasar's voice crackled over the comms, taut with barely controlled fear. "All personnel to battle stations. The KRLX have launched a full-scale assault on Zeta Prime." Adam and Zal exchanged a grim look. The Deltan homeworld. If it fell, the war would be as good as lost. Quasar met them in the hangar bay, his usually proud bearing weighted by dread. "The Krelks have thrown everything they have at us. Our defenses are already buckling." He met Adam's gaze, a desperate plea in his eyes. "We need your help." Adam straightened, a fire igniting in his belly. These alien warriors, so different from humanity, had become more than allies. They were friends, brothers in arms. He would be damned if he'd abandon them now. "You've got it. My team and I will do whatever it takes." The battle for Zeta Prime was like nothing Adam had ever seen. The KRLX swarmed the planet's surface, an endless tide of chitin and plasma smashing through Deltan lines with ruthless ferocity. The human strike team waded into the fray, the Prometheus shield crackling around Adam as he tore through the insectoid ranks. But for every KRLX warrior that fell, 3 more seemed to take its place. The Deltans fought with the desperate strength of those whose home lay under siege, but the KRLX numbers were too great. Slowly, inexorably, the alien horde pushed towards the capital. In the midst of the chaos, a chilling presence swept over the battlefield. The KRLX parted like a chitinous sea, revealing a monstrous figure. It was a KRLX queen, towering over her warriors, her exoskeleton pulsing with a sickly bioluminescence. Adam felt her psychic probe lashing against his mind, trying to worm past his defenses. "She's controlling them," Zal growled, clutching his head. "As long as she lives, the KRLX will never stop." Adam knew what he had to do. Gripping the Prometheus device, he charged towards the Queen, a wordless battle cry on his lips. The KRLX warriors threw themselves at him, but he shrugged off their blows, the energy shield flaring with each impact. The Queen's eyes, multifaceted and coldly intelligent, fixed on Adam as he approached. Her mandibles clacked in a mocking facsimile of laughter. Psionic energy lashed from her, hammering at Adam's mind, trying to crush his will. But Adam's resolve was iron. He weathered the psychic storm, drawing on every ounce of human stubbornness and defiance. With a roar, he leapt at the Queen, the Prometheus device blazing like a captured star. The battle was titanic, a clash of wills as much as a contest of strength. The Queen's claws raked at Adam, her psychic might battering at his thoughts, but the human would not yield. Blow by blow, he wore down the Queen's defenses, the Prometheus energy scorching her carapace. In a final, desperate lunge, Adam closed with the Queen, the device pulsing in his grip. But before he could strike the killing blow, the Queen's claw lashed out, stabbing towards his heart. "No!" Zal's cry pierced the din of battle. The Deltan threw himself forward, intercepting the blow. The Queen's scythe-like claw punched through Zal's chest, a spray of indigo blood splattering the ground. "Zal!" Adam screamed, anguish and rage warring in his voice. With a final desperate surge, he slammed the Prometheus device against the Queen's head. The explosion of energy atomized the KRLX monarch, her psychic scream cutting off abruptly as her body disintegrated. Across the battlefield, the KRLX warriors faltered, their hive mind suddenly directionless. The Deltan forces rallied, pushing back against the invaders with renewed vigor. But Adam barely noticed. He cradled Zal's broken body, hot tears streaking the battle grime on his face. "Why?" he demanded, his voice raw. "Why did you do that?" Zal coughed, indigo blood flecking his lips. "Because you would have done the same for me." The light faded from the Deltan's eyes, his breath sighing out in a final rattling whisper. The Karleks were routed, their assault broken by the loss of their queen, but the cost had been immense. Deltan cities lay in ruins, thousands dead and dying. And Zal, the brave warrior who had fought by Adam's side, who had saved his life, was gone. In the aftermath of the battle, Quasar gathered his people to honor the fallen. Adam stood numbly among the assembled soldiers, his grief a leaden weight in his chest. Quasar's voice rang out over the somber crowd. "Today we have seen the true measure of our allies from Earth. They have shed blood alongside us, stood firm against impossible odds." His gaze found Adam, respect and sorrow mingling in his eyes. "We once thought them savages, warriors from a Deathworld. Now we see the truth. They are heroes, the best of us." Adam bowed his head, tears flowing freely. He thought of Zael, of all the brave Deltans who had given their lives, of the battles yet to come. The war with the Karleks was far from over. But one thing was certain: humans and Deltans would face the future together, united by bonds forged in blood and sacrifice. As the ceremony concluded, Adam turned his gaze towards the stars, towards distant Earth. He knew he would return to his homeworld soon, to rally mankind for the struggles ahead. The Karleks would not rest, and neither could humanity. The soldier squared his shoulders, a new resolve hardening in his heart. Come what may, they would fight, for Earth, for Zeta Prime, for the fallen. They would fight, and they would win. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.